All right.
Oh boy.
It is meat and potatoes time. We're
He's
getting into
so excited to talk about this.
into the drama.
Don't.
Getting into some drama.
Part of me didn't even want to talk about this, but
I know.
It does need to be addressed.
I felt your disdain through text from miles away when I was like, hell yeah, I get to talk about these two people in the same topic. Woo!
Oh goodness.
Disclaimer.
You go right ahead. This is all you.
Disclaimer, everyone. I do not take a lot of pleasure in drama and making fun of people and bashing their professional careers or nothing like that. I do firmly believe in the golden rule, which is treat others as you would like to be treated.
Do unto others.
But shit, is it hard to do when you have someone like Anita Sarkeesian popping up out of nowhere?
She came in and RKO'd the fucking internet out of nowhere.
Literally Kanye Westing her way back into the public.
I still love that analogy.
Fucking...
I'm gonna let you finish. But that's a good analogy.
So, Anita, for those of you who need a little refresher, because I don't need to get into this too much, but Anita Sarkeesian is basically a feminist SJW, for all intents and purposes, social justice warrior.
She's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's really the only word that truly describes her. She has her YouTube show. I can't even remember it to save my life right now. It literally exited my brain the minute her name popped up. It is Feminist Frequency. I don't know if she still does it because again, she kind of faded into the mist after all this crap about games like GTA 5 literally going out of their way to like kill women in their games, and awesome phrases like that make no sense and that are completely untrue. So
she's like, oh man, I'm gonna say this and I'm probably gonna say it in a way I don't actually mean, so if you're listening and this offends you, take it with a grain of salt.
Here's what I'll do for you. Okay. You say what you gotta say. I'm gonna let you finish.
Oh my god!
But
we're trying to take this seriously. I promise.
We're gonna take this a little seriously, but I'm certainly gonna have to throw some shade at her a little bit. But yeah, no. You go ahead and say what you gotta say, and I will try to make sure that our
is the embodiment
and exactly what you mean and where you're coming from.
Anita Sarkeesian is the embodiment of everything I hate about our gaming culture today.
Go on.
Oh man, that's the nicest way I can put it. I don't know if I want to get any more into it.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean,
but it's okay. It goes like this. It's like whenever any little thing that you can grab onto and you can shout to the rooftops that this offends you in whatever way, and you will do it until the world hears you. And I feel like I should stop talking. So I'm gonna.
I think ultimately what you're trying to get at is this is a person who, when she has an opinion, especially an unfavored opinion.
I don't even know if it's her opinion. That's my thing too. Like I think it's.
You think this is a front?
I think it could be.
I mean, I could kind of see it because
she takes these ridiculous strong stances that a lot of people go, "What?" And I think she does it for the attention and the fame. Yeah,
they don't make sense, and they're very hypocritical. I often I think about like that stuff of how like the makers of GTA 5 purposefully made their games to go after and shoot down and kill women and rape like the strippers and whatever in GTA 5, and yet she like owns games that do those things.
So to your point, the only real thing I remember, because I'm sure I can find more evidence, so it's not this is the only thing, but this is the only one that I remember. I have a horrible memory.
That's okay.
But she bashed the hell out of Mortal Kombat. I think it was 10. It might have been 9. I don't remember. About how overly grotesque and gory it is. It's Mortal Kombat. Of course it is. But at the
Yep.
same time, like a month ago, she took a picture of her with like stacks of video games, including
Yep.
shit like Gears of War and God of War and all these superly over grotesque games. It's like you don't get it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Well, why not?
You pick your side and you choose to be on that side, and you don't do things that are on the other side and just claim that that's okay, because it's not.
Yeah, I think we've hammered that point home very freaking well. So let's move on from that, and let's go on to exactly how she is inserted.
And in the blue corner.
Let's see exactly how she has inserted her way back into our lives. So, for all of you who definitely know this guy by now,
if you don't, you're living under a rock.
His name is Tyler Blevins.
Yes.
Is that how you say his name?
Yes.
Tyler Blevins,
Blevins,
also known as Ninja. He is a very famous streamer who
he's like the PewDiePie of Twitch.
Pretty much. If I remember correctly, he is making $500,000 a month.
That's crazy.
Right now. That's nuts.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Dude, give me like 10 grand. I have some debts to
give me like 5 grand.
I'll take anything you're throwing away.
Right?
But yeah, no, he is pretty much the top Twitch streamer to date currently, to the point where he is getting featured in ESPN magazine.
He's the first ever professional gamer on the cover of ESPN.
Absolutely nuts.
Which is awesome.
To give you just a little tiny background on Ninja, he is famous, at least currently, for being probably the best Fortnite player out there.
He's really good at Fortnite. He plays a lot.
He is very good. I have seen videos of him playing, and pretty much every single one of them he's been winning.
I don't watch a lot of it.
I have a nephew who is very much into him, and I watch my fair share.
So I'm not really a fan of the fork nut to begin with. So
the fork nut, really?
The fork nut, yeah.
Fork nut. I didn't.
Let me have my fun.
let me give you my little background of Fortnite.
Of the Fortnite.
Fortnite looks amazing.
Yeah.
The game fun. Itself, and by the game I mean the single player campaign, looks great. It looks good. Yeah. It looks good. It is simply the battle royale stuff that I can't stand right now.
I don't know if I go that far.
I have nothing against people who want to play online, and I have no problem with people who want to play battle royale online.
Right.
But this game has successfully made it so that every single game company feels necessary to focus on making a battle royale in all of their games now.
Yeah.
Black Ops 4's got a battle royale mode. Does it need?
Black Ops 4 is online only at this point. Who cares? I say that a lot of people. I don't.
This brings up a completely different discussion topic of these companies are legitimately focusing on multiplayer only.
Sure. I mean, yeah. And think about. Granted, it wasn't to this extent, but I mean, when Minecraft hit its boom, there was just like a flood of Minecraft clones.
True.
It's just the next evolution of that, and then in 6 or 7 years' time, we'll have another game that does it, and then we'll have a flood of games that are just like that. Before Minecraft, it was Call of Duty 4. Before that, it was like what, GoldenEye, Halo.
Right.
Before that, it was like what, Mario 64.
And I think Fortnite will follow suit. I think it's pretty much like the fad.
Yeah, it's the current fad game, which isn't a bad thing. If you like the game, that's fine. I just don't care for it. So
yeah. So to get back on
right, let's get back to Ninja.
Getting back to Ninja, he had a interview with, I believe it was Polygon. Yeah, he spoke with Polygon.
Yes, and
he was asked about his, I believe it was just like his preferences with who he streams with and everything, and women came up into the conversation, and here's his quote. If I had one conversation with one female streamer, where we're playing with one another, and even if there is a hint of flirting, that is going to be taken and going to be put on every single video and be clickbait forever. Timeout. I gotta take a drink for this one.
Okay. I'm ready for Angry Rye Guy.
Because fuck, you know it's coming. Listen up. Listen up, Tyler. Bro. Can I call you bro? Listen.
Sure.
The fact that you said that at all has already made you clickbait. You literally put yourself out there for people to bash your fucking brains in over this shit. The best thing you could have done was kind of do a little damage control and just been like, I just haven't done it, or have I plans to do it? I don't know. You could have said anything else. You could have said literally anything else, as opposed to literally putting a target on your back. Because here's the deal. When I've read this statement and I tried to be calm and collective, which was probably after the 17th time that I've read his statement and got angry about it. Around the 17th time, I just went, here's a better idea. Why don't you stop worrying about what everyone else thinks of you? Take the PewDiePie route, except better. You stop worrying about what everyone thinks about you, and how about you break the mold, and how about you actually do stream with female gamers and assist in them breaking into this mold where 98% of video gamers are men, and the 2% of women finally get like a boost up, which is very much needed. I know many females who play games, whether it's just casually or more like me, even though I don't really get time to play it. There needs to be more diversity. There needs to be more women playing games. I think it'd be absolutely awesome. Any female who streams or does Let's Plays or just plays games at all is awesome. I think it's great that it's not just men playing video games. The fact that he came out and said that, I lost respect for the man, because this was a kid who is making all this money, and it has been said and has been well stated that this kid is not spending his money. He's not like the CSGO Lotto assholes that literally take the system in which they can basically get kids to gamble and then spending all this money buying mansions and Lamborghinis and shit. He's actually saving money because he's smarter than that. He knows this is not going to last forever, because just like him and just like us, rather, we know the Fortnite craze is going to come to an end. It is inevitable. It is not going to last forever. Yeah. He's smart in that regard. He's stashing money away. He's got a wife, and he knows that he needs to put some money away. So I'm going to try to compose myself a little more.
Are you good?
No, but
I have a few. I want to call them counterpoints, but some of them aren't that.
Go on.
I disagree with some of the things you say.
Okay.
I think what his statement was the lesser of two evils. I think his choices were either he says what he says, he gets a little bit of heat right now, the heat goes away in 6 months' time or so. Because really, like, nobody said shit until Anita spoke up. Since then, I haven't seen anybody really blow it up. So yeah, he says his piece, he moves on. It's his choice, he can do what he wants.
Sure.
Or he goes the opposite route and says nothing about it, and people continue to speculate and be clickbait anyway, forever, like he says. I think this was the lesser of two bad options that he chose to do for the sake of his family, his wife, his life. You know, he's trying to be professional about this. And to some degree, I agree with him. To some degree. Never, as a streamer myself, I'm never going to take it that far. I have plenty of female friends who I would not mind playing games with if I had time to play games with them, because I have so many games. Anyway, that's another topic for another day. I've already lost my trail of thought. But yeah, I agree with him to some degree. Where like, I get that. I get that you want to protect you and yours, because
Mm-hmm.
God knows if anything blew up and somebody started attacking, the Queen, for instance, with this guy he was flirting with this female streamer he's streaming with. You look at this shit. I don't worry about that because I know the Queen. The Queen would be like, shut the fuck up. Like,
But doesn't that kind of prove my point right there?
a little bit.
Because I feel the same way about my wife. If
Sure.
someone were to come to her and say that shit, she'd be like, "Get the fuck out of here." I know. She knows. She knows like who
Yeah.
I am. So
And-
it's like that. And I get.
I don't think it's about that though. Like, I think it's about him not even wanting to put her in that situation. And to some degree, I wouldn't want to do that to the Queen either.
Okay.
Because the Queen is super high anxiety. She gets really nervous around people on the internet. She's a whole different person. It's so funny watching her play Overwatch. She's an entirely different person.
Yeah.
She doesn't join the voice chats
Cutthroat?
for a reason. She's very cutthroat. And I said that quietly so she didn't hear me.
That's a gamer right there.
Yeah, she's great.
Gamer.
But like, I know she could handle herself if that situation arised, but I would never try to do something intentionally to get that situation to arise. And he's just trying to cut it out completely. He wants no chance of it.
The one development I've made since I read this article and got my whole snickering, I'm so excited to blow these people up. Not actually, just figuratively.
Right.
But the one thing I did come across is that as much as I want to treat this guy like the rest of us, like the way we should be treating everybody, to an extent we can't. Because that's just like me treating you the same way I would treat someone like Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling is a celebrity.
Okay.
And it goes through a different... Yeah, go figure.
I have no idea who this guy is.
Get the hell out of here. Anyway.
Hang on, I'll Google search him. Look, his name came up like right immediately. That's funny.
Of course it did. Of course it did. Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Gosling are the two people that come up in Google the first time you type Ryan in. And unfortunately, it's not my name. I mean, I can't. I'll get my break. Why am I letting you get me off on this tangent?
I want to quickly iterate that you called Tyler Blevins a kid. He's the same age as me.
That's very true. He looks like a kid. He will be a kid.
He's literally older than me by like a few months.
He's younger than me, I believe. So I'm gonna call him a kid.
You're a grumpy old man though, so that's fine.
I am so fucking grumpy, aren't I?
That's why you're the Gerard and I'm the Alex in this situation.
Okay. So Ryan Gosling is a celebrity. He makes millions of dollars entertaining us with movies, TV.
Oh, that's why I don't know him. I don't watch movies.
Right? Get out from under that rock, bro.
I play video games, man. I have too much time to play video games.
Yeah, so when you look at someone like Ryan Gosling, you can't necessarily set him to the same standards as us because he is put under a different level of stress than we are with our lives.
Very true.
To an extent, I get that when you apply that to someone like Ninja, because he is literally at the top of his form of entertainment. So he's like a pseudo celebrity, I guess, maybe.
I mean, I would definitely consider him a celebrity. He's, like I said, he is the PewDiePie of Twitch.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's move on from that because we literally just spent 15 minutes bashing both of these people.
20.
So, oh, that's right. I started my timer a little late. But yeah, so getting back on the topic of this, what do these two people have in common? Well, Kanye West, Anita, she has popped up on her Twitter after hearing about the news of... I know you love that joke.
It's so funny.
She has popped up on Twitter.
So perfect.
It kind of fits the bill.
It fits perfectly, and that's why it's funny.
So, yeah, she hopped up on Twitter the minute she found out that he was on the cover of ESPN.
I'm sure it was the second. I also like that
don't
she retweeted him
Oh,
to bitch
well,
and moan.
so
Because
yeah,
that's how you provide your opinion.
in typical Trump fashion, when
Make
you're
him
upset, you
make
take
him
to
more
Twitter.
famous.
Yep, pretty much. So she took to Twitter and saying and quoting, "Wait, wait, wait. Yes, the 3 waits were necessary."
Of course they were.
That's not part of the quote. I'll go back. She does this twice. I think that pisses me off more because I love Community, and the fact that she said "cool" 3 times in a row pisses me off a little, just deep inside. So, quoting, "Wait, wait, wait. Isn't this the guy who said he won't play with women? Cool, cool, cool. Way to go at ESPN, elevating the status of a misogynist." Timeout. So, I had to do this because I know what the definition is, but for you lovely people who want a textbook definition of what a misogynist is, a person who dislikes, despises, or is strongly prejudiced against women. Ninja, this is going to be the time where I back you up. Anita, you're a fucking moron. What about him not wanting to stream with women makes him a misogynist? Let me reread you this again. A person who dislikes, despises, and is strongly prejudiced against women is what a misogynist is. That is not what he is doing. He is making a choice to not stream with women. While I do not agree with his choice, that doesn't make him a misogynist. Not even close. He has a wife, loves his wife, has no problem with women, has said that openly.
Mm-hmm.
So what about all that makes him misogynist? Spoilers. None of it. He's not a misogynist. You're just, again, trying to Kanye West your way back into the spotlight because you have lost your relevancy.
She's going to let you finish. I think I made that joke already. I need fresh jokes.
Sorry, I'm not helping because
You're good.
It's such a good joke.
It's funny.
Stick with what works. So, but then she went on.
You dress up like the Roblox characters at the.
Oh my god!
Never mind.
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't doing that for your thing.
Yeah, you have a headache talking about this. I already know.
I scrolled down to the other Twitter post that she made.
You want to scream it because she wrote it in all caps?
Yeah. Question: has anyone's point been made more apparent because they decided to use all caps on Twitter? I mean, has Trump done that? I don't know if he's ever gotten more votes because he did tweets in all caps. I wanted to take a drink. I can't do it now. So her other tweet in all caps, making sure it's very clear what she's saying and screaming it at the top of her lungs.
This was almost a month ago, this tweet.
Quoting, "Refusing to play games with women because you are married and don't want hypothetical rumors to start is the most bonkers logic I've ever heard of. What is wrong with all of you?" I'm trying not to yell, but that's how it's read.
Counter argument, what's wrong with you, Anita?
Well, she's not going to tell you what's wrong with her. You know that. She's going to keep that to herself and her therapist, if she has a therapist. So, now that I've finally taken my drink.
I think Anita Sarkeesian might be the only woman on the planet that has a problem with this.
I think she's the only person who has a problem with someone being successful.
I'm sure Tim Schafer agrees with Anita. Yeah, we're not going to get into that.
No, we don't need to bring a third. We don't need a triangle of hell.
Let's just future me, edit this out of the podcast piece.
Okay.
Let's not talk about Tim Schafer.
Let's not talk about Tim Schafer. Cutting it. Yeah. For one, no need for the all caps, Anita. I mean, if anyone is reading,
Anita, honey, honey, please, have a tea, calm down.
It'll be okay.
Maybe think about what the fuck you're saying.
It'll be okay. After this podcast is over, I'm gonna forget about you again too.
It's okay. I've done this. I can't be fully mad at Anita. There was a Kotaku article about a thing in Spider-Man that I'm not gonna get into that I disagreed with, and I went off I replied to the tweet and went off. I didn't like retweet it or anything like she did or anything, but I had so many people in like the more it happened, like, are you okay? And at the point in time, at first I was all mad. The more it happened, the more I was like, this is actually really funny.
If you can't laugh,
yeah, right.
What are you doing? All right, so this was, and you know what? I wasn't even going to say this, but I think I will. This was the point in time reading through the all caps, because that was blinding me for a minute there.
Mm-hmm.
And reading into what she actually said, when I first read this tweet specifically, I almost thought I was going to have to admit that I agreed with something that she said, because I was, again, in that camp of, why does Ninja care about hypothetical rumors?
Mm-hmm.
Why would he care about that? But then after thinking about it, after literally taking my opinion and throwing other people's opposite opinions as hard as they can at my own, I realized that the stance I was taking was skewed. So again, I mean, going back to it, we can't treat Ninja like a normal person. He's not like you and I, unfortunately. We just can't do it.
I understand what you mean, but
yes,
go on.
So the idea of he's married, doesn't want hypothetical rumors. I
get it.
I mean, yeah, it might happen. I mean, and again, he had a bad option and a worst option, and it's up to debate of which one was the worst option that he took. But he was basically given two bowls of shit, and the only difference was the smell. So he had to choose something, and he chose his road, and he's dealing with it. It doesn't make it bonkers. Like, yeah. Again, he is not like us. We can't treat him. Mm-hmm. We can't treat him like he's one of us, because he's not.
On another end of that argument is, it's not bonkers to not have the same opinion as you. You know, like,
right.
It's okay to disagree with people. I don't know if you guys know that. It's completely okay to disagree.
I literally do it every podcast.
It's not okay to disagree to such an extent that you feel like you have to yell over everybody to make sure everybody believes what you believe.
But you don't understand.
That's a bonkers thing.
You don't understand. She's been in the shadows for so long. She has to yell loud enough so that at least two people can hear her voice. And those two people are us.
Unfortunately.
I'm not going to apologize for this topic. I was really happy to finally get that off my chest.
I want to end this topic by reading some of the replies to this article on...
I legitimately thought you were going to be like, I want to end this now.
Boundingintocomics.com article. Put a whole bunch of replies to her tweets on it, and I like some of them, and I want to read them. I like the two gifs of the dude from The Office, and there's a Chris Rock meme from the movie I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. I know movies sometimes. I only know that because I know the one scene that this movie is from. How much for one rib, anyway? So yeah, on the tweet of the bonkers logic, the all caps tweet, at Timcast replied, didn't he say he wanted his family to get? He didn't want his. Didn't he say he did? Jesus, didn't he say he didn't want his family to get harassed? Though, I think he said something like there would be thousands of videos attacking his wife. That might be hyperbole, but that is to his point, though. Like, sure. Yeah, he's exactly why he's doing this. Even like Ninja even said himself that it wasn't that's not even her in reference to his wife. She had nothing to do with it. Is that was me being, I love our relationship, and no, I'm not even going to put you through that. So yeah,
that's true. I forgot to mention that.
He's doing this all because he loves his relationship and he loves the family he's created with his wife, and I 1,000% get that. Yeah. And why anybody would attack that, I just don't get.
I think a lot of that boils down to, at least coming from someone of like my viewpoint, if you're not happy with your own life, you're quick to tear down someone else's. Mm-hmm. Kind of like if I can't have it, no one can.
Yeah.
Which is very sad. That's a sad stance to take.
Lastly, I wanna throw out this reply because this is the one I agree with so much.
Okay.
From @CG, because I can't read her name right.
Okay.
And I also want to point out this is from a woman's perspective.
Yeah.
So this is a reply back from a woman, where the rest of these are men, I believe. Anyway.
All right. Go on.
But she says, "Give it a rest. You're jealous because you're not the one on the cover. It's not misogynistic to refuse to play game with other women when it may cause problems in his marriage. It's pretty reasonable, to be honest."
Yeah. I mean,
exactly.
I know I said quite a few things, but I can agree with that statement.
Like that's my feelings exactly. So good on you, @CG.
Yeah. Again, I don't necessarily agree with his stance on not streaming with female gamers at all, because I feel like if there was any person who could literally lead a movement to get female gamers to put themselves out there even more, it would be someone like Ninja.
Sure.
He could literally be like the poster child for helping assist women in not being like stereotyped. Like, because I think, at least back in the day, you used to hear all the time, if you were like a female and you played games or whatever, I don't even know how to put this. It was different. Like you were treated differently if you were a girl who played games as opposed to a guy who plays games. And I mean, I think they still are.
Right. I want to iterate something I meant to say a lot earlier in this topic. If you're still listening, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
He does play Fortnite and other games with his wife, who is a streamer as well. So he does play with a female, just not anybody else.
Just not anyone else except his wife.
So
and that's fine.
And that's more to the point of, it's not misogynistic at all. It's not that he hates women or whatever.
Whammon?
It's a PewDiePie thing. Don't me. PewDiePie's funny. I like PewDiePie. I'm sorry. I like him now. I hated him when he was when he stopped giving a shit. That's when he became funny.
You like PewDiePie now as opposed to when he was PewDiePie.
Yeah, I hated that era of Pewds, but God, I love PewDiePie now. He's so fucking funny.
I think there's your new triangle of hell. Throw PewDiePie in the mix.
I don't think he's that bad.
Okay, let's end this topic. I know you've probably been wanting to end this topic for 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, we've been going on for 30 minutes. It's fine. Nobody's going to watch this long, so we can say whatever we want.
Arguably. And just remember...
So I say that now, but if this does blow up, somewhere down the line, people are going to go back and watch this topic and be like, we watched this all the way. How dare you say that shit you said at the end of the video?
Just remember, the internet remembers.
The internet never forgets.